Hello everybody and a warm welcome to Behringer, and today is Susannah's Scratchbuilding Guide Part 3, and in this part I'm going to be showing you how far I've got with the station building, also how far I've got with the canopy as well, and what I've been doing to the methods and the tools and things that I've used in order to progress the layout a little bit further. So here we are at Moorwood Station, and this is how far we've got with the canopy, and I'm thinking this is how it's gonna probably stay. And it's a very simple canopy, nothing too extravagant or too expensive. Literally no money was spared on this one. There was just, I literally had all spent on this. I've literally had all the bits and pieces to hand. So we have the canopy, and let me just take you to the station building first of all, because that's where we're sort of at last time. Oh, let me just sort of dig in here. Now as you can see there's a bit of a gap here, but I'm going to fill that in and blend that in, so I haven't got around to doing that yet. And basically the canopy sits on top of that, and it's all been put together, the windows are in and everything like that. And I can actually take the canopy off because it's designed to come off. Obviously it's a bit tricky with me doing this one-handed, but here you go. If you see the inside of the building, it's been completely painted in black throughout, and this is if I decide to put some lighting in it. You can put some lighting in it and it won't seep out and it'll come straight out through the windows. So that's all now been put together, and the canopy sits on this ingenious little way that I have, and that's on these little plinths. Now they're completely removable, and all it does is sits on top. Now this is a piece of rodding that I bought originally for the Pico point motors that I was given, and they were PL10s and not PL10Es, and I needed to extend them. And one way of extending them was to add these rods to the existing point to create the height. But unfortunately it just didn't work, and so I ended up with all these lengths of brass, length of metal rodding to use, and I didn't know what to do with them. And then inspiration dawned on me that I could probably use them for the canopy, and I got my trusted Dremel out and cut them to the right size, and basically the size is the same height as the station building plus an extra centimetre, so it's got a bit of depth to bite into the platform, which is why originally when I was talking about the platforms, you have to take into consideration if you're going to make it out of card or wood, you've got to think about what you're going to put on top of it. And obviously this has got wood underneath, which is why it bites into it and it doesn't go anywhere. Now the ingenious bit is simply just this little bit here. All it is two bits of card, which I showed you how to strip, with two track fixing pins. That's all it is. And those two track fixing pins are enough that they can just bite into the hole and sit on top like they do on here and like they do on there. And then the canopy just completely lifts off. There's no height to the canopy, there's no weight to the canopy, so it just sits literally on the top. And what will happen is these will actually be glued to the canopy once I've finished with it, but I haven't actually finished it yet, as you can see, because what I would want to do with it is, let me just try and get this. It's actually quite difficult to try and do. There you go, it just sits on the top. Had a bit of a brainwave with it yesterday, and it kind of worked. And basically then the canopy then sits on the top as you saw before, like so. This is only just roughly sat there. Now if I show you underneath the canopy, I'll show you how I got the lips and how I got it to curve round. Again, oops, sorry, if I just show you underneath the canopy, that's how the canopy looks. So you have the original top part, which is that bit. Oops, sorry, that bit there. And then we've got the various layers. Now the edging is formed out of one strip of card, and then on the straight piece it's just scored not cut, scored, and then you just bend it over and you just glue that in place. And that's the same for here and here. And then with the curves, what you have to do to be able to do the curves is, again, it's the same like the one over here. You just cut one strip, then score it down the middle, and then what you do to get the curve to bend, you cut these triangular little sections out to allow the card to bend around the section that you're trying to make. And then all these other little bits of card in the middle are all just filler, because what that does is it raises that to the same height as that. And when you turn it underneath, obviously I don't really want to see it, because obviously from certain camera angles you'll be able to see it. So what I've done is I've created another footprint using my paper method, and basically I've done that, created another one which just sits inside, so all that bit underneath you don't see, and then that basically finishes off the canopy. And that will probably remain white, but I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with it. And obviously the poles have to be all painted up, and then once that's all ready, these top edges will be glued to this part of the canopy once that's all done. But my next job is going to be basically to paint the roof, the top part of the canopy, and once I've done that, then I can concentrate on finishing the edges with probably some wheels kit that I've got, and then I'll add that to that as well. So I just thought I'd give you a quick show of how I'm getting on with that, and like I said, I'll just quickly show you once again in place what it looks like. So if I just pan out, you can see what it looks like, and then I'm going to just show you quickly what it's like when it's back on. So as you can see, this is now what it looks like on. Like I said, the poles will be painted, and they'll probably be painted in grey, because we're going to make this station into just a standard BR station of the 80s. It hasn't been modernised yet completely. There might be one or two bits and pieces that are NSC, but most of it's going to be in the BR kind of state. And as you can see the steps go through the top. I mean, you can't see underneath it, but obviously I know it's there, and then obviously so I'll cover the bottom of it with that other bit there. And there might be some camera angles that when I'm running trains, as you can probably see, you might be able to see from underneath there what it looks like, but obviously all the various mishmash of bits of card underneath. But obviously with the other bit the other footprint that I've done for the underneath side, once that's in, it will just be plain white and you won't see it. So I'm pretty pleased with the way that's come out. I'm really happy with that, and it's come out really, really nicely. And obviously the station building kind of marries into the canopy, which is why I haven't completely finished the station building yet. And then obviously the other thing is I need to finish off the retaining wall and repaint it so it marries up with the station building, so it's going to go in the same colour and have the same treatment, and I'm going to put the remaining arches on the retaining walls. So yeah, so still plenty to do, but I can sort of see where we're going and how it's going to turn out, and I'm really pleased with how that's come out actually, especially since it's my first attempt. It really is, it's my first attempt at making a canopy, but I've been working with card for so long now that I had a rough idea of what I was doing, and it was just an idea that I had really. I like the bench there as well. I was thinking of building another little building, but I think the station building's big enough that it can accommodate that. I think it'd be nice just to have a little seating area, and then there'll probably be some spear fencing, spear railing fencing along here, the metal one along there to sort of segregate. So basically passengers for this platform here will just use this side of the platform. So anyway, that's how far we've got. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment and subscribe, and I'll give you another brief overview of what the station building looks like. So bye for now.